I mean, it's really hard. If it's just you by yourself and you're trying to track down one person, I mean, you really need to use baiting tactics. If you need to understand how alignments work and how warping from one place to another works correctly. Like, I'll try to explain to you how Ching Chicken Wing caught me. So in the chat here, there's a guy named Ching Chicken Wing, and I keep bringing him up because he successfully baited and caught me and decloaked me. So he basically figured out what system I was in and then baited me, and he knew I was in a cloaked ship as well, so he was actually able to bump me and uncloak me. And I'll jump out in space and I'll kind of explain how he did it. Let's go, let's just undock. And he didn't have probes or anything, he just knew I had probes and he knew that I was scanning looking for him. So he knew pretty much what to do to make it so that he could bump into me. Hey Gazbo Live, how you going? Welcome back. So this is a little bit complicated. I'll try and explain it as best I can, but let's just get up out of the way out of the station. Let's go to a planet. Actually, we'll go to the sun. I'll show you exactly what Ching Chicken Wing did. He went to the sun, right? How do we get to the sun? So imagine you're in a system with someone who you're trying to hunt, or you're in a system with someone who's trying to hunt you. And you warp to the sun. The sun's a good landmark, anyone can warp to the sun. And you sit here and wait, and you open up your directional scanner. And on your directional scanner, you basically hit the scan button, and you can see anything that's close to you. So I know that mining drones are close to me. And if you know that someone else is in the system trying to find you, and you know that they have probes and they're scanning for you, you can hit your directional scanner until eventually you see their probes on your scanner. And if you hit scan and you see all of their probes on your scanner, and you can reduce the range down a bit, so you're actually scanning within a shorter and shorter range. And if you can reduce the range down to, like, what are the range of probes? I mean, if you can get it down to 1 AU and you can still see all their probes, then that means their probes are almost right on top of you and they've almost got a lock on you. And if you know they've almost got a lock on you, then you know they're going to warp to where you are very quickly. So you scan down, you scan, you find until all their probes are really close to you. And you know, alright, their probes are really close to me, they've probably got a lock on me, they're going to warp to me. And you basically just got to wait, you got to guess. And maybe there's a better way to know, but you've got to anticipate, okay, you could even use your directional scanner to try and figure out which direction, or you can't, if they're cloaked you can't, but you can use your directional scanner to try and find where they are. But once all their probes get on top of you, you give it a bit of time and you think they're warping towards you, you can then warp somewhere else. So if I warp to this thing over here, so even if you have no idea where they are, and they're cloaked and you can't see them, you were just at the sun, you're fairly sure that they scanned you down, so now they're at the sun. You can turn around and you know, more than likely, they are at the sun right now. And if they're at the sun, you can then align to the sun, so now you're traveling towards the sun. Put your afterburner on, launch all your drones, or your micro warp drive. So now basically you've got all your drones swarming around you and you're traveling back towards them. If they warp to you, or they warp any range close to you, because for example they might have used their probes again to scan down and find where you are, and then they warp from the sun to you, even if they're cloaked, because you're traveling towards them with all your drones out, you've got a fair bit of chance that they're going to warp in here in front of you, and you might just bump into them and knock them out of cloak. And especially if you've got a micro warp drive on and you time it really well, you will bump into them and you'll knock them out of cloak, which is exactly what Ching Chicken Wing did. And I hope he's listening, because I really appreciate what he did. That time he caught me, he taught me quite a lot. And we had a fight and I almost died and he almost died. Neither of us actually died, but he successfully tracked me down like that and caught me by just completely baiting and knowing what I would be doing. So that's one way, and that's just a bit of an example how you really need to think outside the box and understand what people are doing and understand how the game works. And you can catch someone who is invisible and cloaked in your system. But, and it was honestly a bit of luck as well. Like, I might not have done that. I might not have warped to the sun. I might have done something completely different. But he had a fair idea of what I would be doing, and he successfully did it correctly. It actually took him a couple of attempts to do it. For instance, he went to the sun, lined up, tried to do it, didn't catch me. Then he sort of did it again, and I didn't catch on to what he was doing until I got knocked out of. Yeah, Dreggy, it is unlikely, and like I said, it took him 2 attempts, I think. Like, I scanned him down, and he tried to do it, and I didn't catch on to what he was trying to do because I scanned him down the second time, and that was when he bumped me out of warp. So it does work. I've seen it work before. Yeah, okay, so another way is obviously using your anomaly scanner. You can... Okay, so you open up your anomaly scanner and you find Serpentis Hideaway. So if you know someone's in the system and they're probably doing combat sites, you can basically, a lot of times people just warp directly to each site and look for people and look to try and kill them. But if you know how the directional scanner works, you can line your ship up in the right direction. I know that, okay, that Serpentis Hideaway is 0.9 AU away. I can open up my directional scanner, change my angle down to 15 degrees, point my ship exactly at the thing, whoops, hit scan, and you'll get scan results and you'll be able to see if there is actually a ship there at that place. That's the basics of how to use the directional scanner anyway. So sometimes you can just sit at the star in the middle of the system and you can point your directional scanner around all these sites, scan them, make sure you got your filters set up correctly to show all the correct ships and stuff. Scan down, wait till you see a ship at it, then just warp to it and get it.